اوكي هشام، طبعا all the questions انت عندك بس one question اللي هو 23 that you got it wrong. بس احنا نمشي على الاسئله كلها اللي هم جايبينها غلط، يعني في many question عشان هم يجوا يشوفوها. طبعا the first thing you're gonna do in literacy 1 literacy 2 I'm sorry to read the blurb. البلurb هو اهم شيء. فهنا بيقول the following passage has been taken from The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky by Stephen Crane. It's a Western short story that was first published in 1898. The protagonist اللي هو البطل بتاع القصة is Jack Porter who returned to the town of Yellow Sky with his bride. يعني هو عبارة عن زوج وزوجة. المين كاركتر اسمه جاك بورتر. فكان لما ومحمود عندهم question number 1. Question number 1 بيقول the passage might be described as. بيتكلم عن the whole passage. فده طبعا tone او big picture. طب how we can get the tone or the big picture؟ عرفنا اللي احنا we read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. طبعا it's better to leave this till the end لان بنهايه القطعه اللي هي 10 اسئله او 11 سؤال انا اكون عندي information about the passage. طبعا ما ضيعش الوقت طبعا عشان احنا نحلها بالتيرن دلوقتي، ولان مش mistakes كتيره موجوده عندهم فنحلها دلوقتي اللي انا هقرا the first paragraph and the last paragraph. وطبعا ممكن اللي هو the first sentence and last sentence of the first paragraph and the first sentence and last sentence of the last paragraph. بس انا هقرا two paragraphs اللي هو الاول والاخير. The great poleman was whirling onward with such dignity of motion that the glance from the window seemed simply to prove that the plains of Texas were pouring eastward. عارفين البولمان احنا اللي هو زي الاتوبيس. Vast flats of green grass, tall huge spaces of mosquito and cactus, little groups of frame houses, woods of light and tender trees, all were sweeping into the east, sweeping over the horizon perspice. طب تمام، هو هنا بيوصف الرحله بتاع بوتر وهو راجع ليلو سكاي اخر القطعه اللي هو العريس. To the minds of the pair اللي هو العريس والعروسه, their surrounding reflected the glory of their marriage then morning. That morning in San Antonio. This was the environment of their new state. And the man's face in particular beamed اللي هو طبعا بيتكلم هنا عن مين؟ عن بوتر. And the man's face in particular beamed with an elation يعني فرحان that made him appear ridiculous to the Negro porter. This individual at times surveyed them from afar with an amused and superior grin. On other occasion, he bullied them with a skill in ways that didn't make it exactly plain to them that they were being bullied. He subtly used all the manners of the most unconquerable kind of snobbery. He oppressed them, but of this oppression they had small knowledge, and they speedily forgot that infrequently a number of travelers covered them with stares of derisive enjoyment. Historically, there was supposed to be something infinitely humorous in their situation. Haidalia. So now I know that the passage talk about Porter and his bride. So if we're going to go here, as I told you, it's better to leave this question till the end. An analysis of a man's acceptance of his social status. Yeah, he talked about social status, but he didn't say that he accepting it or not. An account of a couple anticipation of married life. Yes, here he talked about the couple and their anticipation of the married life. Porter and his bride. A description of train travel in 19th century Texas. In the first paragraph, is describing the Pullman and describing how he started looking at the city.
طب افتحي يمكن اخش.
ايوه ماشي.
Hello? Hello? Who's Ines? This is Mirab?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay. So here we're not talking about the description of the train travel itself. We're talking about the man and his bride. A criticism of class consciousness in the 19th century? No criticism. Again, this question is better to leave it till the end because by the end of the passage, you're going to know the answer for. That was a mistake with Lama and Mahmoud. After that, question 4 for Lama. Question 4 for Lama. As used in line 2, dignity most nearly means, if we're going to go to line 2, this vocabulary, he said, the great Pullman with whirling onward with such dignity of motion, the care. He talk about the train or the Pullman, the car, whatever, that a glance from the window seemed simply to prove that the plain of Texas were pouring eastward. Okay, so if we're going to look here at dignity, it describes the word motion. So we need something, a noun that describes motion. If we're going to go to the word splendor, means brilliance, something nice. It doesn't describe motion. Respectability, even would not describe motion. Superiority, it would not describe motion. But gracefulness will describe motion. Gracefulness is a word to describe motion. Hi, Ibrahim. Who is the Zoom user?
Hello, Master.
Hi. Zoom user. Hello.
أي مستر دخلت من جهاز تاني عشان
ماشي. Okay. So now to describe the motion is gracefulness, is a word to describe motion. Okay. After that, I have number 5. Maram, she has a mistake in number 5 and number 6. And those are evidence question. You know that when we find two questions that follow each other and the second one السؤال الثاني فيه lines, بنعرف ان دول معتمدين على بعض. طب how we answer this kind of question؟ طبعا ولما برضو عندها الميستيكس هنا ومحمود. فبيقول Jack and his bride might best be described as. يعني عاوزين هنا ندور على جاك وبرايد، حاجه بتوصف جاك وبرايد بتاعته. طبعا المفروض ان انا go through all the lines، يعني انا الاول بحل دوت بشوف جاك وبرايد مذكورين فين. زي ما انتم شايفين هنا وكانوا مذكورين في بي وسي ودي، بس هنروح لواحده منهم. من 5 ل 10، من vast flats لغايه precipice. Vast flats of green grass, dull hued spaces of mesquite and cactus, little group of frame houses, walks of light and tender trees, all were sweeping into the east, sweeping over the horizon. The person, as you can find here, ما فيش حاجة أصلا اتكلم عن البرايد أو اتكلم عن بورر. يعني ولا حاجة اتكلمت عن جاك بورر أو البرايد. يبقى it's not right. Let's go from 17 till 22, from time till furtive and shy. 17 till 22. From time to time, he. المشكلة بقى ان انا عندي he is a pronoun that I don't know it refer to whom. فعشان كده انا هرجع line قبله. طيب the man's face. طب who's the man? I know that he's talking about Putter, but we are gonna follow this technique in the test, so I'm gonna take a line before. A newly married pair. شكرا. يبقى احنا كده بنتكلم عن Jack and his bride اللي متزوجين اهو. had boarded this coach at San Antonio. The man's face يبقى كده اللي هو الزوج اللي هو Jack was reddened from many days in the wind and sun, and a direct result of his new black clothes was that his brick-colored hands were constantly performing in a most conscious fashion. From time to time, he looked down respectfully at his attire. بيبص على الحاجات اللي هو لابسها. He sat with a hand on each knee, like a man waiting in a barber shop. The glances he devoted to other passengers were furtive and shy. تمام. هو اتكلم عن married pair، بس بقية الباسج أو الباراجراف الهايلايتد كان بيتكلم بس عن جاك. بس أنا هاخدها. I'm gonna say that it's right. From 41 till 46, from no till dollar. 41 to 46. 41 here till 46 here. He said no, she answered. برضو عندي she. I don't know who is she. مع ان انا عارف ان هي البرايد, but I'm gonna take it since before. Here he said ever been in a parlor car before. يعني هم ما ركبوش قبل كده parlor car. He asked smiling with delight. برضو he مش عارفين مين. كل ده بيدينا clue. Take line before. They were evidently very happy. Again, I don't know who are they. Take a sense before. انا عارف ان انتوا هتقولوا لي طب ما احنا عارفين ان ده بيتكلم عن جاك والبرايد. لازم نعمل بنفس التكنيك. This will give you more information about the passage and it will give you clue about the answer. Okay. I take a sentence before. The blushness caused by the careless scrutiny of some passenger. As she, برضه في she, I don't know is she. Take a sentence before. It, take a sentence before. They, take a sentence before. She, take a sentence before. She, take a sentence before. So I'm going to start from here, from the bride. Tilting. The bride was not pretty. مين اللي هي زوجته. Nor was she very young. يعني حتى مش صغيرة. She wore a dress of blue cashmere with a small reservation of velvet here and there. Now هو بيوصف مين؟ زوجته. And with the steel buttons abounding. She continually twisted her head to regard her puff sleeves, very stiff, straight, and high. They embarrassed her. It was quite apparent that she had cooked and that she expected to cook dutifully. The blushes caused by the careless scrutiny of some passenger as she had entered the car were strange to see upon this plain, underclass countenance, which was drawn in placid, almost emotionless lines. They were evidently very happy. Ever been in a parlor car before? He asked, smiling with delight. No, she answered. I never was. It's fine, ain't it? Great. And then after a while, we will go forward to the diner and get a big layout. Finest meal in the world. Charge $1. Okay, so till dollar here. Till now, yes, it described, it talk about Jack and his bride. So it can be from 69 till 75, from to the till Porter. From 69 till 75. To the minds of the pair, خلاص احنا عرفنا البير دلوقتي مش هناخد لاين قبلها. We know that they are talking about Jack and his bride. Their surroundings reflect the glory of their marriage. That morning in San Antonio. This was beamed with an elation that made him appear ridiculous to the Negro Porter. Okay, again, he talked about both of them. And I got a lot of information right now to give me a kind of answer for everything. Now, خلاص, I find B, C, and D, يا مرام. B, C, and D. Now let's match it up. Firm and resolute in their decision. Nothing talk about decision. Nothing of the three talk about decision. Nervous and fearful about their trip. Yes, it appeared that they were nervous. كان nervous أو خايفين. بس note about the trip. Note about the trip. كان من نظرات الناس اللي ليهم وكانت موجودة في C. Awkward and self-conscious in the setting. Yes. In 17 till 22, they were awkward. Here, when we take the line, he said a newly married pair had boarded this coach at San Antonio. The man's face was reddened. Oh, now we know that he's awkward, self-conscious about the setting, about the place. Reddened from many days in the wind and sun, and the direct result of his new black clothes was that his brick-colored hands were constantly performing in a most conscious fashion. From time to time, جاب هنا سيرة التايم, he looked down respectfully at his attire. He sat with a hand on each knee, like a man waiting in a barber shop. The glances he devoted to the passengers were furtive and shy. يبقى هو they feel awkward and self-conscious even when he looked at his attire. ما كان بيبص على فلوسه. I'm sorry, على هدومه. فده البي. Amazed and bewildered by the landscape. هو ده كان موجود في الحتة بتاعت اللي فوق. بس it wasn't mentioned here. So the answer, or was it mentioned in any of the question here? So the answer C and B. مرام, do you know why Mahmoud doesn't join? محمود ليه ما دخلش؟
مش عارفة يا مستر.
اوكي.
أنا موبايلي أصلا فاصل شاشة فمش عارفة أتواصل مع حد خالص.
تمام. Okay. So we solved for Maram, number 5 and 6. Then after that, number 7 for Lam. He said in line 32 to 37, the blushes, برضو قريناها, emotionless lines. Why does the narrator note that the bride's blushing seemed so out of the place? Seemed so out of the place on her face. طب تعال نشوف اللاين لده inference function. So we're going to go to the line from 32 till 37. So here he said the blushes caused by the careless scrutiny of some passengers. طبعا كما كانت خجولة الناس هتبص عليها. As she had entered the car were strange to see upon this plain underclass countenance which was drawn in placid almost emotionless lines. تمام. خلي بالكم اللي احنا ممكن نطلع لاين قبليه بس احنا اصلا قريناه وعرفنا ان هو بيتكلم عن البرايد وان هي شاي وان هي كانت كبيره في السن. So if we're gonna go now to the question that was missed by Lema, he said to emphasize the degree to which other passengers are staring. Yes, هي كانت في لاين كده قال عليه ان هم scrutiny of some passengers that they are staring at her. يبقى this match whatever is mentioned لان inference and function that mentioned the line and words is direct question. طب to express the bride extreme happiness with her marriage, it doesn't mention anything about happiness here. To communicate that the bride is lacking in self-confidence, it doesn't talk about her self-confidence. The blushness because the passenger are staring at her. To underscore that the bride is strangely unattractive. خلي بالكم هو في جزء كان بيتكلم ان هي old وان هي she is not beautiful. اهي the bride was not pretty. بس انا بتكلم على الجزء ده اللي هو mention ان هو بيتكلم عليه اللي هو اداني الانسر بتاعه او اداني اللاينز بتاعته فهو قال scrutiny of some passengers. يبقى الانسر it's not D, the answer is A. This 7. Number 8. Miram. As used in line 73, state most nearly mean. نروح line 73 كان في اخر الباراجراف. بيقول this was the environment of their new state. هو كان بيتكلم طبعا على العروس والعريس العريس والعروسه. And the man's face in particular beamed with an elation كان happy that made him appear ridiculous to the Negro porter. Okay. تعالوا نشوف state هنا what does it mean. project لا هو مفيش project خالص في الموضوع. interest برضه مفيش هو بيتكلم their state ما كانش في interest في الموضوع. property ما كانش معاهم حاجه خاصه بيهم. standing yes he's talk about status حالتهم. standing here talk about their status that they are married yes it's standing. This for Miram and Mahmoud. I think now for the first passage we don't have anybody else that they got mistake in. طيب القطعة الثانية. Again, I'm gonna look at the blurb, the first thing. The main thing for me, the blurb. Why? It will give me information. The following passage has been taken from American Ornithology by Alexander Wilson, a Scottish American naturalist, dubbed the father of the American ornithology. طبعا أي حاجة في ology معناها علم. Wilson is regarded as the greatest American ornithologist after Audubon. His 9-volume American Ornithology was published between 1808 and 1814. تمام بيتكلم عن حاجة فيها دراسة. Now we're going to go to the question according to the mistakes of the people in front of me. طبعا أنا ما عنديش 11. لا ال 11 معلمة. بيقول the author is mostly concerned with. The author is most concerned with. This question is tone and big picture question. من الأسئلة طبعا اللي أنا بحاول إن أنا أخليها للآخر. خلي بالكم السؤال هنا بيبقى ليه بس دقيقة و30 ثانية. فما ضيعهمش اللي أنا أفضل أبص على السؤال. في الآخر زي ما الأسئلة بتاعت الباسج 1 عرفنا خلاص إن هو بيحكي عن رحلة لاثنين متزوجين فما ضيعش الوقت. طبعا المفروض ان الكويشن زي دوت بسيبه للاخر لانه it doesn't mention any line. طيب تعالوا نشوف لو احنا بقى هنحله بالترتيب وده غلط. اهو انا بقول ده غلط. لو هنحله بالترتيب you have to look at the first paragraph and the last paragraph. And if you don't have time زي ما انتم شايفين كده last paragraph ما شاء الله يعني من 60 لغايه 105. From 60 to 105. والفيرست paragraph زي ما انتم شايفين برضو لان ده scientific من 1 لغايه 59. تقريبا انت هتقرا القطعه كلها، تقريبا هتقرا القطعه كلها. طبعا عشان كده انا قلت نصيحه ليكم، الكويشن بتاع التون والبيج بيكتشر لو سمحتوا سيبوه للاخر، في اخر القطعه انت تفهم هو بيتكلم عن ايه. طيب هو طبعا الاوثر كان كونسيرند وايه؟ احنا عارفين طبعا ان هو بيتكلم عن حاجه في الارنيثولوجي، علم الطبيعه. طيب تمام. طب لو انا احلها بالدور، وطبعا زي ما شايفين كده انا عندي الباراجراف ما شاء الله طويل جدا، هنقرا اول سنتنس واخر سنتنس في اول باراجراف، واول سنتنس واخر سنتنس في اخر باراجراف. بس انا ما بنصحش بده، اللي بنصح بيه اللي احنا نسيبها في الاخر وهتعرفوها على طول من الاخر لوحدكم، وهوريكم واحنا بنحل. بس مش هحله دلوقتي لان انا مش عارف كام questions missing للشباب اللي عاملين غلط. About the 25th of April, the hummingbird usually arrives in Pennsylvania, and about the 10th of May begins to build its nest. This is the first sentence. Last sentence of this paragraph. Here. زعلان منك يا محمود، صح؟ حودة
معلش يا
سامعني؟
مستر، ما كنتش في البيت.
ماشي يا حودة، ده انت من امبارح يا محمود وعدني. ماشي يا حودة. As I have found their nest with eggs, بيتكلم عن hummingbird, so late as the 12th of July, I don't doubt but that they frequently and perhaps usually raise two broods in the same season. نيجي برضو الاول سنس واخر سنتنس، وده اللي ما بنصحش بيه، سيبوها للاخر هتعرفوا الانسر. The hummingbird اهو مكرره is extremely fond of tubular flowers, and I have often stopped with pleasure to observe his maneuver among the blossom of the trumpet flower. The last sentence. He is one of those few birds that are universally beloved. He talk about hummingbird also. And amidst the sweet waste serenity of a summer morning, his appearance among the arbors of honeysuckles and bits of flowers is truly interesting. شكرا. تعالوا بقى نشوف الإجابة. Describing the characteristics of the hummingbird, yes. You do care about the hummingbird, and they start describing it, even his arrival to this place, his giving birth, اطفاله، حتى بالدescription بتاعته ان هو بيحب ايه؟ اتكلم على characteristics. Explaining how hummingbirds build their nest, mention. هي كانت ذكرت في الاول ان build its nest، بس اللي كان ماشي بعد كده الكاركترستيك، ما البيلدينج نست دي specific. characteristic general، وهو كان بيتكلم عن characteristic general not only building nest. Discussing the reason hummingbirds are interesting, maybe, but he didn't give me a reason. This is scientific one, is a scientific one, not a subjective passage. ده مش subjective، ده objective، بيدي information. يبقى I can't choose interesting at all. Interpreting the meaning of certain hummingbird behaviors, he talked about the characteristic more than the behavior. Even the first sentence, the last sentence. طبعا كانت تعرف اكتر لو سبناها في الاخر. ده كان question 11 للما والمحمود. انا مش عارف مين اللي عنده 13. Yes داليا. داليا no sound داليا. Hello. داليا. You can write داليا if there is no sound. اكتبي لو في مشكلة في الصوت. وانا هرجع للكويشن اللي انت عاوزاه. بس بلاش فرانكو قارب يا داليا. لا هو مفيش لا، اما تطلعي وتدخلي. طب قولي لي الكويشن اللي انت عاوزه فيه ايه المشكله فيه؟ احنا كنا بنشرح في كويشن 11. 11 دي تمام. انت كنت شاك ان هو بيتكلم على البيهيفيرز، صح؟ طيب احنا لو بصينا هو ما اتكلمش على البيهيفير، لان البيهيفير هيبقى برضو زي بيلدينج نست. البيهيفير زي البيلدينج نست بالظبط، لكن هو كان بيتكلم على الكاركترستكس بتاعه الهامينج بيرد. لو احنا قرينا القطعه ككل، خلينا نوقف السؤال ده دلوقتي ونرجع بعد ما نحل الكويشنز اللي ناقصه، وهتشوفي ان هو كان بيتكلم على كاركترستكس، ميزات الهامينج بيرد. تمام؟ في حاجات كتير. طيب نمبر 12 ما كانش فيها مشكله لاي حد. عندي نمبر 13 كانت عند طه. As used in line 5, fixed most nearly means. تعالوا نروح لاين 5. ادي فيكس اهو، وده طبعا هيخلينا نقرا شويه. فبيقول ايه؟ This is generally fixed to the upper side. هو بيتكلم دلوقتي على النست، بيتكلم على النست بتاع الهامينج بيرد. This is generally fixed on the upper side of a horizontal branch, not among the twigs, but on the body of the branch itself. تمام، يعني هو ده بيقول لازق في الupper side of the horizontal branch، لازق فيه the nest. فadjusted no, intended even no. Intended is not an answer here. Aligned, we're not talking about the line. He said attached, fastened to the upper part of the branch. Fastened means attached. Okay, number 14 is not with anybody. 15 برضو مش مع حد خالص. 16 برضو مش مع حد. 17 داليا vocab. So I have 17 with Dalia and with Mahmoud. Okay, let's find. He said, as it's used in line 82, dresses most nearly means. So let's go to the line 82. Here, dresses. He said, when he alights. طبعا بيتكلم عن hummingbird. When he alights. Which is frequently, he always prefer the small dead twigs of a tree. خلي بالكم هو ما بيحطش النست بتاعته في التويجز زي ما قراها فوق، هو بيحطها على branch attached to a branch. لكن هنا هو بيحب يكون على prefer the small dead twigs of a tree. ده اللي احنا بنحل الكويشن دلوقتي بتاعك. انت فاتحه المايك برضو بس مفيش صوت. or bush where he dresses. ركزوا بقى. where he dresses and arranges his plumage feathers with great dexterity readiness. الله. طب هو dresses هنا معناه مش ان هو بيلبس، هو طبعا بيقول هنا verb he dresses and arrange. طبعا we know that if we use and الكلمه اللي جايه قبل هي نفس الكلمه اللي جايه بعد او بتدي نفس الكلو على المين. فهنا بيقول dresses and arrange his plumage اللي هو feathers with great dexterity. تمام. تعالوا نشوف هنا الكويشن بتاع 17. oils لا، oils and arrange لا طبعا. clothes احنا عارفين طبعا ان هو ما بيلبسش خالص، يعني it's wrong. shuffles خلي بالكم shuffles معناها mix او move، ما بيجيش بمعنى الارينجمنت، ما بيجيش بمعنى الترتيب، ما بيجيش بمعنى الترتيب. وغير ان هو قال هناك dexterity. smooth يعني ينظم الريش بتاعه. اهو لو رجعنا تاني هنقول فعلا ان هو بينظم اهو and arrange his plumage اللي هو feathers with great dexterity readiness، بيخلي نفسه جميل. فمعنى كده ان dresses here means smooth. تمام يا داليا؟ the question كان عندك. uh, 18 كانت عن مرام inference وfunction. من السهل يا مرام اللي احنا نجيبه، بنجيب الانفرنس فانكشن اللي فيه لاين وفيه words من الجمله على طول. يعني هنا بيقول in line 68 to 69 the author note that the hummingbird's wings become invisible. يعني الوينجز بتاعه بقوا مش مبينين or only like a mist زي ضباب كده. 2 تعالوا نشوف من 68 ل 69 ونقراها ونقرا الحته اللي بيتكلم عنها دي. 68 to 69 اهو. his wing become invisible or only like a mist. بس انا هاخد السنتنس كلها يا مرام اهو. And when arrived before a thicket of these that are full blown, he poises or suspend himself on wing. بيفضل ايه؟ يعمل suspension يعني متعلق الهامينج بيرد. For the space of 2 or 3 seconds. So steadily ثابت، متعلق بس ثابت. تحسوا انه ما تحسوش ان هو زي البيردز التانيين. That his wings become invisible من السرعه بتاعتهم or only like a mist, and you can plainly بالعافية distinguish the pupil of his eyes looking round with great quickness. يعني ما تنفعش تشوف حتى عينيه بتتحرك بسرعة. And circumspection, the glossy golden green of his back and the fire of his throat dazzling in the sun form altogether a most interesting appearance. الله، ده هنا بيوصفه، بس اهم حاجه الجزء اللي هو الهايلايت دوت اللي هو الدارك يلو. نرجع للكويشن يا مرام. Number 18. Show how transparent the wings are. هو كان بيتكلم على الانفيزبل بس ما قالش هو transparent، هو قاعد يوصف الحركه بتاعته. بيوصف الحركه بتاعته، ما قالش ان هم transparent شفاف. Emphasize how fast the wings are moving. اهو الراجل قال ان هو suspended، تحس كده ان هو واقف متعلق. suspend himself on wing بجناحاته. suspended يعني مش بيتحرك فوق وتحت، لا ده واقف في مكانه متعلق. فهنا بيتكلم عن how fast his wings move. Point out that the sun reflects on the wings. انا عارف ان هو جاب حته عن الصن بس is not the main point. انا عاوز الحته بتاعت الوينجز. ليه الوينجز become invisible or only like a mist او زي ضباب. reiterate يعني state that the hummingbird is beautiful. عارف ان هو اتكلم عن beautiful بس المين كان الوينجز. ليه هم مش باينين؟ عشان هو move fast بيتحركوا بسرعه، وبانت كمان في حركه عينيه اللي مش ثابته اللي بتتحرك بسرعه جدا. This number 18 يا مرام. Number 19 لما ومحمود. طب inference function برضو تاني من الايزي، جايب اللاين وجايب الوردز. بيقول in line 93 ل 95 the conqueror fruits of his victory. fruits of his victory، كلمة fruits of his victory يعني هو جايب لنا اللاينز اهو بس ركز على fruits of his victory. فاكهة نجاحه، يعني ما نقول ان شاء الله ما انتوا تنجحوا واللي يدخل طب واللي يدخل هندسه واللي يدخل صيدله واللي يدخل طب اسنان. ايه الفروتس بتاع اليور فيكتوري اللي انتوا دخلتوا الجامعه اللي انتوا عاوزينها؟ تعالوا نشوف من 93 ل 95. 93 ل 95 اهي. The conqueror هو بيتكلم دلوقتي على الهامينج بيرد. However, generally return to the place to reap the fruits of his victory عشان ياخد حصيلة نصره. ايه الحصيلة بقى اللي بتبقى للهامينج بيرد؟ The dead twigs of a tree والله ممكن. A female hummingbird ممكن يكون برضو راح لفيميل hummingbird. The nectar of flower برضو ممكن. The other combatant يعني يكون في خناقة. لا أنا هضطر كده إن أنا أقرأ سنتنس قبلها عشان أعرف هو كان بيعمل إيه، هو كان مكانه فين. كان مكانه فين يا لما ومحمود؟ كان مكانه فين؟ طيب بيقول his only note is a single chirp not louder than that of a small cricket or grasshopper generally uttered while passing from flower to flower. شكرا. وايه اللي موجود في الفلاور؟ بيبقى النكتار اللي موجود في الفلاور. or when engaged in a fight. لا لحظه، ده كده صعب لي الدنيا. وفايت برضه with his fellow. for when two males meet at the same bush or flower a battle instantly takes place and the combatants كده انا عندي حلين ascend in the air chirping darting and circling around each other till the eye is no longer able to follow them. بس دي الخناقه، يعني دي الخناقه عشان يقدر ياخد من الفلاور. هو في حلين، لا اما دلوقتي ما عندناش dead twigs and or tree، ما عندناش female hummingbird لانه قال two males. عند لا اما nectar of a flower لا اما the other combatant. طب هما بيتخانقوا مع بعض، هو يرجع له تاني عشان ياخد الفاكهه او حلاوه النصر بتاعه؟ لا، حلاوه النصر بتاعه اللي هيطلع من الفلاور لانه كان بيتخانق معاه الفلاور. يبقى الانسر is the nectar of flower. ده معلش، هو ده كان evidence. ده كان evidence مش inference of function كمان. معلش كده كنا بنحله inference of function، ده كده نحله evidence يعني اسهل كمان. كده نحله evidence لان سؤال 20 متعلق بيه، نخش سؤال 20. بيقول which choice provide the best evidence for the answer to the previous question. خلي بالكم انا برضو ما بدور على الايفيدنس، بدور على الحته اللي موجود، ببعد خالص عن fruits of his victory بس بدور على الحته تكون متعلقه بيها، بيتكلم خلاص عن حاجه ليها. تعالوا نشوف من 1 ل 4. And about the 25th of April, the hummingbird usually arrives in Pennsylvania, and about the 10th of May begins to build its nest. ما اتكلمش عن أي حاجة من المذكورين اللي هو the victory or the fruits of his victory. لا مش دي خالص. اللي بعديها من 75 ل 79 the position لغاية on the plate. 75 ل 79. The position into which his body is usually thrown while in the act of thrusting his slender tubular tongue into the flower to extract its sweet is exhibit in the figure on the plate. شكرا خلاص. دي باينه جدا ان هو بياخد ومتعلقه جدا بالحته اللي احنا كنا بنقولها اهو. هو return back to the place to read the flower. الحته اللي احنا قريناها قبلها عشان نعرف هو بيعمل ايه. هو بيتكلم عن الفلاور. تمشي. نشوف اللي بعديها برضه عشان نتاكد. من 79 ل 83 من when he alights لغايه dexterity وقريناها قبل كده. 79 ل 83 when he alights, which is frequently always prefers the small dead twigs of a tree or bush where he dresses and arrange his plumage with great dexterity. ما اتكلمش على الفلاور خالص في الجزء ده. اللي بعديها من 1993 من and the components follow them. بس لازم اخد من اول السنتنس. من اول السنتنس. طيب بيقول his only note is a single chirp not louder than that of a small cricket. بس خلي بالكم ده اللي احنا قرينا فيه اللاينز ومن الصعب جدا ان احنا نلاقي الاجابه من نفس اللاينز اللي جايبها فوق في الايفيدنس بس هنقراها برضو. His only note is a single chirp not louder than that of small cricket or grasshopper generally uttered while passing from flower to flower or when he engaged in a fight with his fellow. For when two males meet at the same bush or flower, a battle instantly takes place and the competitors ascend in the air, chirping, darting, and circling around each other till the eye is no longer able to follow them. انا عارف ان هو قال هنا على نفس اللاينز اللي احنا قريناها فوق، نفس اللاينز اللي احنا قريناها فوق لغايه 93 بس في الحاله دي عمرها ما هتيجي بالطريقه دي الا لو ما فيش انسر تاني فوق ما ماشي. لكن ده كان بيتكلم على الفلاور فعرفنا خلاص ان هو بيمد البوز بتاعه او البيك to get the fruits inside the flower. هو النكتر of the flower. ده كان محمود ومرام. لا كان محمود ولما. طيب 21 كان عند داليا inference function يا داليا برضو straight one. inference function straight one. The author most likely references both the kingbird and the bee in lines 96 99. خلي بالك انا بكمل برضو يا داليا نفس السياق من I have seen him put to flight بس اهم حاجه الكينج والبي. 96 99 I have seen him طبعا عارفين مين him بيتكلم على الهامينج بيرد attack and for a few moments tease the kingbird يعني بيغيظ الكينج بيرد and I've also seen him in his turn assaulted by humblebee. الهامبل بي بتشجعه which he soon put to flight. تمام تعالوا نشوف. highlight the many dangers that confront hummingbirds. He doesn't talk about any danger. هو بيقول ان هو بيغيظ الكينج بيرد بيتحيى بواسطه البي. Describe how the hummingbird stay close to its nest. It doesn't talk about any kind of nest. Show that the hummingbird size doesn't limit its ability to defend itself. I think he talk about defense. Dalia here. Why? Because he talk about that the kingbird هو بيغيظ الكينج بيرد وقبلها هو بيغيظ الكينج بيرد وقبلها هو كان بيتكلم عن الفايت مع الميل اللي هم بيعملوا نكتار وان البي بتتحييه. Emphasize that the hummingbird is an especially aggressive bird. He doesn't talk about aggressive, but he defends himself because he teased the kingbird and hummingbee assaulted him. طيب نرجع بقى للسؤال الاول يا داليا اللي كنت محتاره فيه. هل هو بيتكلم على behavior ولا characteristics؟ In some ده specific behavior يا داليا. يعني behavior هنا specific لان هو اتكلم عن building nest. اتكلم عن ازاي ان هو بيتعامل مع other male element. اتعلم ازاي بيتكلم كمان طبعا behavior وهو بيتعامل مع الميل element. اتكلم عن in the last part. خلاص عرفتيها؟ تمام اوكي. طيب because not to waste time لان انا كده عديت 43 دقيقه وانا مش عاوزكم اللي انتوا تمدوا في الوقت. I put all the annotation للother parts, all the annotation for the other parts. Dalia, you know what you're gonna do. If you have any missing information, please send me privately. مرام عشان انت لسه جديده. لو في اي حاجه من الانوتيشن، يعني انت عندك اغلاط 26 و27 و30 و31 و40 و41 و42 46 و47 48. لو في اي حاجه مش عارفاها من الانوتيشن اللي انا كاتبها ارجعي لي تاني كده على البرايفت وقولي لا انا مش فاهماها. تمام؟
تمام.
نفس الكلام لمحمود ونفس الكلام لهشام وابراهيم وطه. اوكي. I already post the test on the group. We're gonna start with literacy 1. هنبتدي بليترسي 1. ومرام انا بعتهولك على الخاص برضو يا مرام، صح؟
يس.
طيب تيست 11 يا شباب، literacy 1 الجرامر. تيست 11 literacy 1. Just wait, I'm adjusting my time. Dalia, right if you're ready. Okay, Ibrahim. Dalia, ready? Right on the chat box. Okay. هشام جاهز يا هشام؟
يا مستر جاهز.
Okay. إبراهيم ready?
Ready, and now I'm joining on my own device, so I'm
Okay,
gonna
yes.
close the
Yes,
test.
I do accept you. Ibrahim, you're gonna solve and send it privately, okay? Not on the group. You're gonna send your answer privately.
Okay.
Okay. Miram, ready?
Yes.
Taha, ready?
Yes.
Okay. في حد نسيته تاني؟
I get. Oops.
Okay. According to the time, please, and you're gonna send me your answer privately whenever you finish. يلا شباب. 1. Test 11. Test 11. Literacy 1. Start. Writing question بنسيبها لآخر 11 سؤال كل شوية. إبراهيم, do you have anything? I think you are entering the 2 tools. Leave the writing question till the end of each passage. Don't waste time. Each question, literacy 1, take 30 seconds, 35 seconds exactly. سيبوا الأسئلة بتاعت الرايتنج لآخر القطعة نفسها، الباسج نفسها. عندك 4 passages، كل passage 11 سؤال.